So I hope that everyone can hear me. Let's get this going. Yes, I hope that you guys can hear me. This is the first design academy organized by Nosto, which is made and meant to tackle all those issues and all those not problems, but would rather like for those queries coming from the support related to the design. In this first session, we're gonna have a look at what everything all around the on-site recommendations and related templates. So I give you guys a very warm welcome. This session is going to be recorded, which is even more important, so that you can find this recording in the resource center of Nosto. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jacopo. I am working in Nosto since February 2015 as a front-end developer, and I come from Italy. And I'm a front-end developer related to support, which means that all the queries coming from the support for templates and design-related stuff, I'm going to take care of them. And so I'm doing since already February 2015. In this session, we're going to go through... sorry, I think I pressed ask. All right. In this session, we're going to go through an agenda. Sorry, but okay. Excuse me. So in this session, we're going to have like an agenda, as I said, like all about the recommendation template and outside recommendations. First of all, we're going to have a look at what the recommendation slot is, which has a kind of fascination and mystery all around it, because it's very, very clear. It's very, very easy to understand, but like some shady points, we're gonna get clear. Then one-on-one on templates and how do they work. Top variables that you should know for mastering templates. And again, like another topic which has been very, very has like suscitated the interest of a lot of users, especially like agencies which are dealing with a lot of customers on a daily basis, which is how to copy and use your own style, because since a Nosto comes injected into your website, you can actually use your own CSS to create a template which is gonna follow then the style of your website. Then as a last topic, last but not least, how to boost up templates with some pieces of jQuery, and a final question and answer session for those in case there are some answers and questions, and I'm gonna answer them for you. So as I said, like the Nosto, one of the Nosto offers today nowadays like a very wide range of features, but like our top one still stays the recommendations, which is our diamond feature. And so we have this recommendation slot that comes injected and offers personalized suggestion to your users. But then like the question is, what is a recommendation slot? The recommendation slot is this element for those HTML gurus, more precisely is a div container, which comes to get placed on your shop, wherein the recommended products are injected, then shown. These recommended products are arranged according to a template, which is applied on it. So that like we have the products, we have the template, we combine together, and we provide the recommendation to the end users. But let's inspect like what a recommendation slot actually looks like. So on the left side, you can see like a little video which comes from one of our shop, which is Fana Spirits from US. And it shows like how actually a slot is. You can see like the highlighted element has a class Nosto element, which always stays the same. And then the ID, which is a univoc for each recommendation slot. And the ID also should be univoc because it's connected to the backend of Nosto, as you can see on the other side. So this is actually a real view, of course, like edited graphically, of the backend of Nosto. And here you have the title. Then you have logic, which is applied on the recommendation slot. Then you have the ID, which is as I said, the univoc ID, which is also on the website. And this ID, once the slot, one Nosto is connected to your shop, is going to look for the where is this div ID placed on your website, and injects directly the products within it. Then also you can see which template is applied onto the slot, filters in case there are, and whether or not it's active. This is exactly the anatomy short story long of the recommendation slot. And then what a recommendation slot as a good conversion when offers the user relevant products at any given point of the customer journey, which is basically what has to do. And it's also placed in a strategic position on the page so that the slot should be visible for the users of the website. And also which adopts a template which graphically marries the look and feel of the shop, because should the recommendation slot have a template which doesn't respect the graphic of the shop, it may look like a little bit off of the style of the website, and so even matter of conversion, and probably the user doesn't tend to click on it because it's not looks something out of it, looks something which is not integrated actually. So now the real question is, now that we talk about all the slots and how it looks for the end user, what exactly is a template? So a template is a theme, so to say, which is applied onto a Nosto feature, and could be like a recommendation slot, trigger emails that we are gonna see in the next webinars, or pop-ups, which carries out two different functions. The first is to fetch the product information, and the second one, and most important, is to arrange them visually within the recommendation slot in this case. And the template in Nosto may contain some different programming and / markup languages, and usually those that we find more often are these four, which is HTML, which a lot of people knows or nowadays know, which is a standard markup language for creating web content, and CSS, which defines the visual rules of the template in this case, so that we can create, we can let's say master the graphic arrangement of the HTML document. And also in Nosto, very important, in the Nosto template, very important is Apache Velocity, which is a Java-based template language that we use for fetching the product's information from the server, so from the account, and to place them onto an object that we can use within the template in order to take out of the arrays the product's information at any point where we need them. And this, and also jQuery, last but not least, which is not necessary, let's say, but you can use to beautify or to make the template more pleasant. You can add carousel structures or fade out effects, whatever you prefer. But also Nosto already provides to the user a default template, which comes with every account. So once you install the account in Nosto, once you get your Nosto account, you get by default a template, which is multi-platform. It works on all the supported platform with Nosto. It's full font stack. You can decide number of element, colors, logic ribbons, buy button, alternative image, and so on. And this template is fully customizable. That's why I wanted to show you like shortly how it works, and also like a couple of tricks. So I take that everyone can see my screen where the Chrome page is. So here we are on a front page, on a recommendation slot in our test Magento shop, which is this one, and where Nosto is applied, and we have like several slots here on home page. And one of let's, for example, concentrate on this, where I have applied like our default template, and the slot is called front page Nosto 4. So it's like this one. And let's, for example, have a look how to. Here we have like a bunch of properties, visual properties for the recommendation slot, and is important to bear into account that when the default template, the properties of the default templates are going to work only when you touch and edit them from the slot amendment page. So that if you open the template page from here, and I go and edit the properties from here. For example, if I edit a color or a font from here, this will not apply on any slot, because these are just properties which here are meant to be shown as a user interface to see like which properties are going to be shown in the end. But then like the properties which are going to matter when you edit for the slot are here. So from the slot page, because you can actually with the same template, you have the different properties, but like as you can apply the same template with which has like the same editable properties on several slots, and you can change property for each slot so that like it doesn't get applied on everything. So for example, if in one slot you want to use example font, and on another one you want to change another font and change also a color, you can do this, because the template's properties are unique for each slot when it comes applied to that. So just as a matter of example, I'm going to change again the button background with something green, let's say, and the heading font with Futura, or maybe frankly Gothic medium. I say this, and in no time, it's just like about to refresh the page, and we have here on top of you see first this first was like violet, and now it's green again because we changed it. And also the font of the font family of the heading. So yes, this is like the default template, but like we are not today only to concentrate for the default template, but actually we want to go to the extra mile, because the default template for Nosto Pro user doesn't have all the features that people may need to amend. Or for example, someone wants to add some jQuery, someone else wants to enhance the CSS, or maybe even use their own one. There can be like several different reasons why not to use the default template, like for pro advanced user with Nosto. So it's time to get our hands in the code, have no fear, and we go with the template recipe. From now on, let's see how to mix these languages we have just talked about to create a solid recommendation template. So for creating a template with Nosto, we just have to follow in these macro steps just shown here. So first of all, we will have to create the HTML elements which will contain the product information. So for example, an unordered list, we can use and list items within it with the product information within it. And by means of velocity, Apache velocity, we grab the product information from the array and we arrange them visually in the product variable. And then we feed the HTML with the variables of the product. We apply, when we want, some CSS to set up the visual arrangements, or we use the CSS coming from our platform, and eventually use some jQuery for some magic tricks when needed. But now that we have like this macro steps following this, the question are, how do I fetch the product information from a template, and also how do I arrange them to create a template? So first of all, let's focus like where the information is, which is like a very important topic. So products, $products is our starting point. $products is the array which contains all the products information, all the products information that will be related into a template from a slot. So, and in the template, we will have to use a for each cycle that we're going to see a little bit ahead to allocate each element of array in a variable object called product. Even though here, sorry, there is a typo, even though the second one is product, in a variable called product. And for example, if we apply a certain template onto a slot which is configured for showing bestsellers, the $products array will contain all the information for that slot related to the bestseller products. So like the same goes if it's browsing history or whatsoever. So the array products will contain at any time when it's gonna get called the information related to the specific slot where it comes applied. And so now that we talk about the variable products, as we say, like products is the macro array which contains information, and within the template we have to interface that within an object which is called product. And at every cycle of the iteration, within the template, the variable object products will contain the different values related to a given product, Sorry for repeating that. But so for example, the variable image URL will contain like the source where the image is, or the Boolean product dot discounted will contain whether or not a certain product is in discount. Like products brand will contain from which market it's coming from. And also you can find all the variables that you can use within a template at the bottom of a page when you're coding a template, which I'm going to show to you a little bit ahead. So it's very important to know which variables you can use, because actually here you can see a table which really a few, but there are a lot. You can from the template you can check whether or not a product has been when this product has been added. So like you can eventually add a ribbon for new products in the database, or you can check where it's supported. You can also call for the alternate image URL so that you can make an over effect and showing several images for the same product, and so on. So it's very good to be aware and to know all the product variables that Nosto provides to the users, because with them you can really master in and out the whole template. So as a practical example, now that we are starting to tackle this, as a practical example, let's see how an easy HTML structure where you can see some piece of CSS on top of it, which defines like the unordered list and the list item and the EMG. And here you can see how this is structured within HTML, which in the end is going to look something like this. Like 4 images, one close to the other, and that's easy like that. But this is just HTML. Let's see how can we use the same structure but with Nosto products variable. So basically, with the same structure, I've used the same CSS, but what I've replaced, I've just isolated one list item, which I've nested within a for each cycle. And I say for each product in products. This is like the iteration cycle, which interface the object variable product from the array product, so that at every cycle of this iteration, the object product will contain all the information that you can call through the variables thumb rather than a URL, rather than like the product name, brand, and so on. So in this case, I use like product.thumb.thumb7, which is like the thumbnails 200 pixel by 200 pixel, and the result was going to be exactly the same, but by using Nosto. So this is like, of course, I can understand, being a developer myself, I can understand that some code splash onto a keynote slide may not look like very, it looks like just fancy and not working. So like, let's basically use this kind of code, but within Nosto, and have like a little demo on how this works with Nosto. So we are here. We open my account. This is my account with Nosto, and I'm just about to create a new template ex novo, so that you know webinar template. And I open this. So first of all, as I said, here you scroll down and you can see like all the template variables that you can use within the template, which are a lot. And you can really use, combine them in all the usage you can have in mind. And yeah, this is very comfortable. This is very practical, let's say. And another thing I had was this. So here, let's really use a very easy example to understand how this works. First of all, I create like my style type text/CSS. So first of all, I don't know how you guys can see my screen. I'm about to zoom it a little bit like this. Okay, so I can see that better, and I guess you can see that better too. I would create a very easy piece of thing for the image. I will make them floating left. I will give them a padding of 5 pixels. I will make them a fluid visualization with display block. I will give them a width of 20%, and last, I will include the margins within the width of the images so that doesn't screw. And also Nosto in the preview always show like 10 pictures. So I want to hide the pictures after the fifth one. So we'll just use this little trick. But this is just for the matter of this example. This is not something that it's about to be important for Nosto. I will hide them. And then now, easy like that, I will just write for each product in products. So this is the first step, and this is the code which is going to interface the object product from the array products at each iteration of the for each cycle. So that each iteration we will have the new variable for the next product in the array, in the position in the array. So for each product in products, I will write eng src. Here I will use the product dot thumb7, and just to understand how it works, the variable, I will use like an alternative name for the image, and I will place the name of the product. I will close the for each cycle, and that's it. in 17 rows of code, I've been able to generate this. This is just like 5 images floating one to each other, close to each other. And as you can see, these are the Nosto mockup images, because like, of course, in the backend of Nosto, we don't fetch products, we don't show the products of the shop, but rather our mockup images and also the mockup data. In fact, if I'm gonna inspect this image, you can see here that the alternative name for the image is the dollar product of name has been rendered with the name of the product, which in this case is not product. And also this is what I've done with my little piece of CSS, like for hiding all the images after 5, because as I said, like Nosto in the preview always shows 10 pictures. So it's exactly easy like that. Nothing more, no tricks, nothing. Yeah. So let me go back to this presentation node. This was like very easy to understand template structure. But also we have talked about this this other thing with Nosto that a lot of has fascinated a lot of people, and a lot of things that is very comfortable, especially for those who were dealing with Nosto usage like on a daily basis, especially creating templates for third parties or like for customers or for other Nosto users. It's important to know that Nosto also follows your style sheets, which means that you can use your e-commerce, your platform classes and elements within the template, and you just integrate the products contained within the for each cycle. And since that this may sound a little bit weird to understand, I would like to show you an example, which is like based from a Bootstrap structure. So if on the left side, you can see like which would be like the structure of your website. So you have div class row, and you have like within that 2 different elements, which are called XS6. So this, let's pretend that these elements are the elements which contains the product's information, and you want to use the same structure but with Nosto. So you will have to do nothing more than adapt the structure within a Nosto template. So you will just have to isolate the element that you want to use with Nosto, where you want the element that you want to repeat within with the product's information, and just to graft it within a for each cycle. So like that, I will have just one, and I will place a for each within it, and exactly like that. But also, again, I understand how difficult it can be to imagine some piece of code on a slider. So I would like to show you another example, and this example can be interesting for you because it really cuts the time of creating a template for Nosto a lot when you can use your own template. So as I said, we are here on our Magento shop, but this of course like works with every platform you have in your mind. This is our Nosto shop and Magento shop, and here we have like different Nosto slots all over the place, and you have also the native Magento slot, which is here. So we can see here the structure is a title, 5 images, product name, and product price. What we have to do would be to copy this title, to copy the structure of this slot, also including, in my case, the name, which is this one. And then I am about to copy the whole code and First of all, I will make it cleaner because I like the code indented and in order. And I will copy this code here. We don't need this example anymore. So you can see here we have like 5 list items as it was on the website, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so we know that what we have to iterate each time is this element, which is the list item of the unordered list. So now, sorry, let me just close this window. Okay, so now let's basically delete all the other list items, which are like this. And I will graft this list item within a for each cycle, as I said, for each product in products. And I will close this for each cycle here. Now everything I have to do is to replace like the render data with the actually Nosto variables. And here is product.name. Here we have the image source that we are gonna replace with $product.from1. Here we can leave it. Okay, product name again. .name. Here we have the product info. We are gonna replace just for the example, we're gonna replace the price. Whatever. Product.price, and again here the name and product.name. Sorry, and that's it. For this example, we're gonna get rid of the actions thing. And now, of course, if we preview this here in the Nosto backend, we are gonna see basically a very, very weird structure because we don't have the same CSS which are in place on our Magento test shop. But if we save this template and then we apply it to the last, let's use on the last. It's this one. It's called apps. I just may have used wrong. I will just copy I got confused with the open window I have. I will create the same here. I will use the same. So yeah. And now I want to apply this template to this slot called Autre produit d'intérêt, which is in the bottom of my shop. And now here I am going to apply my new template, which is called webinar. Here. I save it. This one. Okay. So if we refresh the page, we're going to see that the one here has now a different look and feel with the same over effect and the same structure of the slot that we have just copied here, which is called new products. So this is Magento native slot, and this is Nosto, and looks exactly the same. So this is very important because for those who are dealing with Nosto users every day, which are demanding for new templates and for new look and feel, this cuts a lot the time of realization of a template, because you can basically use the same CSS structure of your website. And now, as we're going like at the last part of our webinar, it's all about the template tricks, because this about the CSS was yes for sure a trick, but like we have way more tricks in our sleeve that I want to show you. The first one is about two known variables that you have to bear into account when you're writing a template, and then how to set a value or how to set values, and last but not least, how to use jQuery in the template. jQuery, which is personally a topic I love. I love jQuery. So as a first thing, you better know like two variables while coding a template. The first one is called $div, which is the variable containing the name of the ID of the slot where the template is applied. So this means that when you are applying a certain template on a slot which is called front page Nosto1, div ID, the variable div ID within the template is going to be rendered on the website with the name of the slot, which is going to be front page Nosto1. And this is very good, especially when you are writing, for example, CSS or jQuery for aiming and seeking for the right ID. So if I want to create a CSS which is only for the slots where it's applied, I will just write #div ID and then my CSS classes, so that if these classes are also somewhere else along the website, the template CSS is not gonna affect the other classes, as because we have isolated them within a certain div ID. And also $title, which contains the title of the slot, so that you can use this variable within a header just to create the title of the slot, and that's it. So let's see how it works. Once the slot is rendered, you will see that ID, $div ID, is going to be, in this case, front page Nosto3, and the variable $title is products you have recently viewed. So another thing is like how to set a value. How to set a value can be for different reasons. For those which are really going deep into the Nosto template coding, and in this case we have like a very easy example how to set a value for a counter, and so that if you want to show, for example, a max number amount of product, even though you can do this by choosing the max amount of shown products from the slots amendment page, and you will just set a counter and a max prod to which you set a value, in this case 5, and then I will just select that, create an if condition within the for each cycle, and then a counter increment at every cycle of the for each, just to see whether or not this counter has reached the max amount of products that I want to show. And in this case, it's going to break the for each cycle and it's going to end. Again, another topic, last but not least, is what happens if I want to use jQuery or JavaScript in a library within my template. Nothing bad will happen, just because Nosto is fully compatible with JavaScript and jQuery, and Nosto itself is a JavaScript-based plugin. And within the Nosto template, you can load and use as many libraries and scripts as you wish. But of course, you also have to bear into account that the more libraries you load, the more time you will need for loading the page. And also, once you load a library into the template and you apply this template on different slots on the same page, in this case, you are going to load as many times the slot is present, the same libraries, which is going to even increase the loading time way more. So to use this only just to be, let's say, just to be aware of what we're doing and how many libraries we are loading. Because if this comes like to load too many libraries at the same time, would be maybe even better to load the library on site and to call the libraries from the Nosto template, which we're gonna see like in a few seconds. Yeah, as I said, but let's see like some example about this. The first example is, as I said, to load a library ex novo within the template. So if you have like your template here, where you can see the template here, at the bottom of it, you can load different libraries and then like to use the jQuery selector to aim for the right component within the template and to fire on it like the JavaScript function you want, or in this case, like it's a carousel, like my carousel, like it's just a example. And this can be yes, good, but as I said, like not to also bring into account the loading time of the website. In case like your website has like a considerable loading time, maybe it would be better to go for the second solution, which would be like to use the libraries which are already loaded onto the website. So in this case, if we have the template here, at the bottom of the template, we can use the selector underscore target window.jQuery, which I have highlighted in yellow color, which is basically jQuery is the usual selector, which we have pre-placed underscore target window, which is in this case means to use the jQuery of the target window where Nosto is, which is in the end the website where Nosto is applied. And I usually prefer this because it for sure cuts down a lot the loading time of a website, and it's way safer because Nosto gets loaded when the website has already loaded. So this means that when Nosto is calling for the library has been already for sure loaded from the website, which is for sure a safe procedure. And you can find a lot of example on my Gist account, and I will be sharing this pretty soon. At the end of the webinar, you will find it on the Nosto resource page. So if you have some questions, you can write it down here, even though I haven't seen any questions so far, so I take it as they are not, but I will wait anyway for a little bit. So here's silence here. I would like to thank you for having participated in this webinar. I hope this was clear. And if whether you are participating at this webinar right now or you are seeing this in podcast, let's say later, thanks for that. Thanks for your attention. You can reach out to me via email or Skype, as you can see on this page. So get it, and thanks a lot again, and have a good day. Bye bye.